at 8th position. And then we have the embattled Meru governor performing quite well. She's at the 8th position with 63%. And then we also have the repeat governor. He was a governor in the first cycle, lost in the second, and has come back in the third, and that's the Kitui governor, Julius Malombe, with 63. In the 11th position, we have Cicely Barire of Embu and Patrick Olentutu of Narok. They tie there. And the 13th position is then taken by a second-term governor, Honorable Anyang' Nyong'o of Kisumu, with 61. He ties with Wavinya Ndeti, who's also at 61. We have Muthomi Njuki, also at 61 in position 13, and Mohammed Khalif of Mandera. Also in the top 25 position, we have in the 17th position, a tie between the Samburu governor, Jonathan Lelelit, at 59%, Anne Waiguru of Kirinyaga, and the Nyeri governor, Honorable Mutahi Kahiga. Bungoma governor follows them at the position 20 with 58%. And then at 21 position, we have the Mombasa governor with 57, and he ties with a fellow governor from the coastal region, Gideon Mungaru, who's also at 57. The last lot of governors in the top 25 league are the Uasin Gishu governor, Jonathan B., Johnson Sakaja, our Nairobi governor, the Vihiga governor, Wilbur Otichilo, and Kakamega governor, Honorable Fernandez Baraza. So those are the governors whose rankings we are, or ratings and rankings we are releasing, the top league, that is the top half of governors. And if we then look at them with regards to what we have also done is we've put together the top 3 performers by each region. So for instance, if we look at the coast, then we see that the top performing governors at the coast as individuals are Abdul Swamad and Gideon Mungaru, who tie at first, and Fatuma Achani, who is the Kwale governor, who's third. In Northeastern, we have the Mandera governor at 61%. And then in Eastern, we have Mutula Kilonzo, we have Kariwira Mangaza, second in Eastern, and then she ties with Julius Malombe. In Central Region, the top performing governors are Irungu Karangata, he's first with 64. He's followed by the 2 governors who are tying as individuals, that's Anne Waiguru and Mutahi Kahiga. If we look at Rift, then the top performing governor in Rift Valley is Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya. He's followed by Simon Kachapin at 67%. We also have Turkana Governor there with 64%. He's third, and he ties with Wesley Rotich of Elgeyo Marakwet and the Narok Governor, Honorable Patrick Mtutu at 62%. In the Nyanza region, there's a lady leading, Gladys Wanga, with 70%. She's followed by Simba Arati, who, has a rating from his residents at 64%. And then we have Anyang' Nyong'o at 61%. If we look at Western, then the top performing governor in Western is Ken Lusaka, the former Speaker of the Senate, and a repeat governor who's performing at 58%. He's followed by his counterpart in Vihiga, Wilbur Otichilo, and we also have Kakamega Governor, Honorable Fernandez Baraza. Nairobi sits on its own, so in most cases we will see the Nairobi performance of the Nairobi governor irrespective, which is at 56%. Who are the most improved governors? If we just look at the office itself of the governor from the last election to this one. So Homa Bay has seen significant improvement because in the last election, The governor then was at 45 in 2020, position 45, and the current governor has moved 44 places and is currently first. So Homa Bay therefore sees the most improvement in the performance of their governor. Whether that governor is the same or not, and I think that needs to be clear, we're looking at the position itself. We also see that the Trans Nzoia governor has really also made remarkable improvement. His predecessor was at 42 position, and he currently is at position 41. Position 1, moving 41 places. Kawira Mwangaza, with all her problems, has improved significantly. Her predecessor was at position 38. She's currently at position 8, making, those strides of almost 30 spaces or stages or steps. And then we also see improvement from the Samburu governor. In 2020, the governor then was at position 46. This governor has moved to 17. And with the 29, points improvement, he sits as one of the most improved governors. Same thing with Kitui. The Kitui governor is a repeat governor, Julius Malombe. His predecessor was at 29 position, and he currently is at position 8. So you can see the improvement there by 21 points. I think generally what the data is basically telling us is that there is first and foremost, a difference between, in some places, a difference between the person of the governor and how the governor expends their duties and the performance of the entire county government. Those two things sometimes could be intersected or linked, and there are cases where there are, quite distinct differences. The way people relate to and perceive their governors sometimes could be very different from the way they feel about the service delivery. That could be because the governor of specific counties could be endearing themselves quite effectively to the populace through their various programs, through outreach, through communication, through various activities that the governor's office partakes in. And as you and I probably well know, most of these governors have their special, what they call the governor's special projects. And those special projects, when they are married with the needs and the expectations of the populace at hand and act as low-hanging fruits, may yield many of these governors very good goodwill from their, respective citizenry. We see that a lot of the lady governors, again, just like yesterday, even in terms of own personal approval rating, are doing very well. I think it's very refreshing to see that in the first position, we have a lady, Gladys Wanga. We also have the embattled Meru governor, who is also sitting at number 8. We have the Embu governor, Cecily Mbarire, at number 11. We have Wavinya Ndeti at number 13. And we also have Anne Waiguru at number 17. So in essence, in the top 25 ranking, we have majority of the female governors, which perhaps reinforces the question and begs us to ask, do women make therefore for perhaps quite effective administrators in the public, administration space? We also see that repeat governors are doing their bit or doing well. Look at West Pokot, where we have Simon Kachapin. He's a repeat governor, meaning he lost and came back. Where else do we see that? We see that at position 8 with Kitui, where Julius Malombe lost in 2017 and then was able to come back. We also see that, don't know whether I see any other here. I think those are the two that I see in the top 20. Lusaka, thank you. And Ken Lusaka, obviously, is also another one of those who is a repeat governor, and you can see him there. What about the second-term governors? How many of them are in the top league? Are they still having the same zeal and zest? As individual persons, we see that in terms of repeat governors, we have Anyang Nyong'o, who's in position 13. He was a top-ranking governor in the last 2021 that we did. He was actually in the top 5. We see the Tharaka Nithi governor as well, Muthomi Njuki, he's also at position 13. And we also see the chair of Council of Governors also performing quite well at number 17, and Waiguru. And we see as well, is there any other that you see, Jovin, who is a second-term governor? I think that would generally be it. A lot of the, governors from the Rift, we see performing very well in the top 25. This is not new to this particular cycle or the 2023 survey. We saw those governors even in 2015 when we started off, and again in 2020, we saw quite a number of the Rift governors doing well. Either as a region, they fully understood and embraced the concept of devolution much quicker and therefore enjoyed from first mover advantages, or generally, the populace has selected leaders who are able to breathe life into the devolved government. Whichever the case may be, I'm speaking to journalists, you also do your own homework. I think it is important to take that as a point of note. That is really what we wanted to share with you today. It is really the top ranking. This time round, we are basically releasing only the top 25, both for counties, as you saw yesterday, and also for the individual performance. It may be slightly different for the MPs, who are a lot more, if we are to release that lot as well. I am available, open, willing, ready to answer any of your questions. Jobin, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. And we now open the floor for questions. Should you have any question, please just signify the media house you're representing. Then, because I've not seen any typed in the chat box, so we can allow you to ask it live. Do you have anyone? IT, you may open the mics. Could be someone want to speak and we've disabled. Fine, we shall be available. The invite we sent, there's contacts of persons, and we're going to be sharing this with you in a short while so that you can also disseminate it in various platforms that you represent. But we'd really appreciate you joining us, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye. Eric, we can disable the link.